Alright, Chuck. Let's get us a 2-pill bass built, man. Like I said, I'm using a oversized case here. Real heavy duty case that a buddy of mine out in Florida actually built me. He's built me about 5 or 6 of these cases, and this is the very first one. We're going to pretty much got it all drilled out now. I'm going ahead and slap it with a paint job. I'm going to be taking this up there to my painter, and there's a couple of spots on it that I'm going to get my painter to help me out with to kind of smooth out and everything. This was the first case he had built for me, and it's just a couple of things I want to smooth out before I paint it. And let's see here. Well, I'll take that back. I've already painted it once, but I wasn't too happy with it. I think I told you about that. The smoothness of it I wasn't happy with, so I took it up there. We got it all sanded down. I'm gonna take it back up there and get a few things done to it, but I just want to get all the things drilled out. Got your board cuts. This is a little different when you're doing something like this. I'm not using boards and heat sinks that are already pre-cut for me and stuff. I'm having to do all that myself. You know, like for example, the transistor holes, I had to cut them myself. I still got to drill your mounting holes for the pills, and the heat sink is a piece of stock I had laying around that I was able to use with it. Pretty thick heat sink too. This heat sink is you definitely ain't gonna have no issues with that thing running hot on you. I was gonna use this one, which is fine, but the one I'm using now is way thicker and a little bit longer too as well. So anyway, I'm about to get you holes drilled for the supply. This is a 50 amp supply. We could get away with using a 30, but I went ahead and upgraded to a 50 for you. Since this is going to be a biased amplifier as well, went ahead and just want to give you a little bit of extra current capability there, so it ain't nowhere near starving. But you just throw a 30 amp in there and be fine. But I'd rather use 20 extra amps. And here I got your hole for your variable, hole for your voltmeter we're going to throw in there for you. So anyway, just want to make a quick video here before I really get the digging in here good. Got all your parts right there ready for you. So alright, man, we will be back. Alright there, Chuck, just about done here, brother. Turned out to be a pretty cool little custom 2-pill bass for you, man. Just got done watching some good Squatch Chronicles. I love listening to stuff about old Bigfoot, man. Stuff interests me. I gotta have something to listen to while I'm working. Well, here's your butte, man. About to put the side on here and put the fan on it. There's the front of it. I mean, this thing's custom built from the brim, man. You know, there ain't nothing preset with this. You know, all these holes had to be drilled in this case. I want to give a super shout out to my buddy Lawnmower Man out in Florida, out in the sand pile. He actually built this case for me. He's built me a couple of more that I got. I had originally got these built for me to build 100 amp power supplies in. And after I got them, I thought I could put a couple of things in there, a 2-pill bass, 3-pill bass, maybe like a 6-pill, 8-pill mobile, a couple of things. So anyway, man, like I said, I've got you an oversized power supply in here, man. This thing ain't even sagging, hitting it with the radio. There's your 2-pill right there, AB biased. Okay, so it's going to be a good amplifier for sideband, good clean amplifier on AM. Went ahead and threw your preamp on there. I couldn't remember if you wanted one or not. Hey, it's best to have too much, not enough, right? Here's the back of it. There's your sideband switch. So I was going to be putting these SO239s on the end, on the inside like I normally do with amps, but I kind of mismeasured just a little bit of the height of the heat sink there, and the bottom of the SOs were kind of touching the board there, so I just went ahead and put them on the back, on the output. Doesn't matter, it's all cosmetic. There were extra port holes there in the back. I went ahead and blocked off these ports so the air would be forced through the heatsink. Got a real thick heatsink on there too. So there's your variable. There's your variable, man, if you're using this as a driver to drive something bigger, or if you just want to cut them watts back a little bit. Pretty much hitting it with the small radio, my bench radio. It's doing about a little bit under 100 bird, right there about 100 bird. That's what you're pretty much going to be looking for. But my radio is only hitting it with 4 watts, about 3.5 to 4 watts RMS, and you're getting about 300 watts peak. Got it on 14.8 volts. Okay. Just let you see real quick what we got going on the bird meters here. And by the way, the input on this thing laid down very well. Very well. Great input reflect, man. Got the 5 watt slug in reverse. Got the 500 watt slug showing PEP. Okay, PEP. If you put the 1000 in there, it shows a little bit more, but I like trying to get a little closer to the accurate scale. You got the 250 watt slug showing RMS. Okay, so on the 250, you're going to be looking at the top scale where it says 20, the 10 is 100, the 5 is 50. On the 500, sorry, don't mean to confuse you, but on the 500, you're going to be looking at the middle scale where it says 50. Okay, so here's your peak watts. Go. A little bit over 300 peak. Here's your RMS. Yeah, this thing's getting on down. Just cruising out here in the backwoods of Georgia. Old Gatekeeper cruising, letting the mop flop with his 75 bird getting down. This thing ain't even tickling, man. This thing ain't even tickling. It is considered a high drive amplifier, so you definitely can dump a little bit more power in it. But if you run it the way I'm just running it right there, just then, man, this thing will last you forever. But of course, we will be hitting it with a little bit of a hotter radio, just to see what she can do. So give me 1 second. Let me hook up the Stickman Cobra 29. Where is she? There she is, right there. I'm gonna hook up the old Stickman Cobra 29. We're gonna give a little bit more drive just to see what she's gonna do. I'll be right back. Alright, man, got the Stickman Cobra 29 hooked up. We're now doubling our RMS drive. We were putting about 4 watts RMS into it. Now we're putting about 8. Okay, so we're pretty much doubling the RMS drive. And we're giving it a little bit more peak watts as well. Alright, here's your PEP now. 500 watt slug. We are looking at the middle scale. Right there about 400, just a tad bit over 400 watts. RMS. Getting close to about 150 bird. Right there about a little bit close to 150. Not quite there, about 130, 140. Now, this amplifier, of course, can take more drive. Put you a 1-pill driver in front of it, which I do not recommend, okay? Because this amplifier was designed for one thing, to be clean, and you wanted it to be clean, okay? And by the way, this is Chuck's very first amplifier, by the way, y'all. Now I can sit here and build a 2-pill Class C amplifier that'll do 500-600 watts PEP when you're driving, you know, the snot out of it, and do 200-300 bird when you're driving the snot out of it. This amplifier was not designed to be that type of amplifier, okay? Like I said, you can drive a little bit more if you want. You know, we can get it up to 200 bird. If I dump my next radio up here in it, it'd probably do about 250. A little bit more than that bird, and you'll probably a little bit past the 500 peak mark. But like I said, you need to think about the dB log table. That's 400 watts peak right there. Okay, that's 200 watts per transistor. If you increase up to 500, 600 watts out there on the air when you're trying to sound good, trying to sound clean on sideband or something, you're going to do more hurt than good. You're going to distort your signal a little bit. Okay, I know we all want to see that meter go as far as we can. Did I even show the input reflect? Well, it really ain't nothing to show because it ain't even moving. That's how perfect the input is. Oh, you can see it moving just a tad. Now take a look at this. Now we're hitting it with a hotter radio now, okay? She still is not sagging. Oh, she still ain't moving from 14.8 volts. There's no voltage drop on this supply, which shows, of course, that we're not even putting a strain on it hardly at all. This thing turned out very nice. I need to get the side on it now, get the top on it for you, and get this bad boy out to you, man. I know you've been waiting a while, Chuck. I want to thank you for hanging in there with me, man. Didn't mean for it to take this long. I really didn't. Took me about 3 days to put this thing together. I know you waited a good little while, but yeah, it took me about 3 days. But at least it's done now. I've been dealing with some health issues. Probably got a couple of more of a procedure or two in the near future I'm going to have to probably go through. But you know, I'm hanging in there, pushing forward, y'all. Everybody else is waiting. Just hang in there with me, please. I'm going as fast as I possibly can. Ain't that right, Boots? Boots, ain't that right? Yep, she said yes. She backs me up. I don't know about some of you other cotton pickers out there, but she does. Alright, y'all, 73s. Got some FT8 in the background, man. I should have turned that off. It's in the background. Alright, I'll be back. I'll come back one more time with the side and the top on, let you take a look at how it looks in the exterior. I'll be back. I thought I'd up the RMS to about 4 more watts just to show you this thing can do about 200 bird. And like I said, if you got a 3-pill, that driver transistor, that thing could be putting anywhere from 20 to 40 bird, sometimes even more, into the next 2 finals, and it can be putting over 100 watts, 80 to 100 plus watts PEP into the finals. 3-pills don't last long if you overdrive them. They really don't. I'm just hitting these with radios, single final radios. So this is what it's doing with 12 bird on the RMS. Go, go. About 230, 240 bird. They're doing about the same PEP. Oh, a little bit past 400 on the PEP. So she'll do it. But like I said, this amplifier ain't designed to be a big hog power maker. It's designed to be linear. It's designed to be clean. Sometimes clean watts can punch through those big watts, no doubt about it. I hope you're real happy with this, man. I hope it brings you a lot of good contacts out there. You can definitely use this as a driver. I meant to show that to you too. Well, basically, hitting it with the bench radio, which is putting 4 watts, about 18 to 20 PEP. Let's see, it was doing almost 100 bird at that point. I can turn it all the way down to about 40 bird, okay? I wouldn't suggest running that variable completely all the way down. It's safe to run it halfway, a little bit less than halfway. I mean, these are some strong variables though. They are some Russian variables. I have not had one blow up yet that I know of. I've been using them for about three years now, maybe 4. I mean, they can handle it, but they're still 2 to 3 watt variables. They can't handle a whole lot of drive, because the further you turn that variable down, the more heat it's going to be producing. But you can use this as a driver. You could drive a 4-pill with it, even though it'd be pretty hot. But you can do it if you turn that variable down and use a small radio. You can definitely drive a 6-pill with it. Still need to turn it down a little bit at that point. You can drive an 8-pill with it, 12-pill with it, 16-pill with it, 24-pill with it. You can get full output out of a 24-pill with this amplifier if you're doing one. You will be pushing it a little tough. I would say completely efficiently, you're looking at all the way up to a 12-pill. Efficiently. You can push it a little harder to drive a 16 and so on. But anyway, I'm getting into the more efficient devices though, y'all. I'll be back. Alright there, Chuck. Here's the finished product, man. GK 200 bass. Very heavy duty case. You know, I had to put you a little fan, LED fan up in there. And I want to let you know, this is a $25 fan right here. I've been holding on to it for a while, just ain't used it yet. The fan comes with a high, low, medium, which you're not going to need because the fan's not spinning fast enough that you'll need to turn it down. But if you ever did want to, which I don't suggest to do it, I attached it to the side of the fan. Take the top lid off, you'll see on the side of the fan there's a little switch, high, low, medium. But like I said, you want that fan to be spinning as fast as it can, and I wouldn't even have used this fan if it wasn't blowing air as good as it is blowing. So alright, man, let's talk about dead key. Since this is your first amp, you want to make sure you do not dead key this amplifier too high. Okay, you can't go buy a PEP kit with this because you could be swinging forward on a PEP meter while you're oversaturating the transistors. Okay, especially being AB biased, you don't want that to happen. So let's see what your max dead key needs to be. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn my 5-watt slug that way. So let's see what I'm dead keying now. We're reading the middle scale. So I'm dead keying 1/2 of a watt. I didn't know I was dead keying that low. Oh, almost 4 watts RMS. So we're looking at RMS power now, no PEP. Oh, right there, about 1/2 a watt. Now let's see what that gives us with the amplifier dead key wise. Variable is all the way up. 250. We'll go ahead and turn the peak kit off of that because I'm about to go in the house. I don't want to leave it on. Alright, we're looking at the top scale where the 20 is 200, 10 is 100, 5 is 50. Let's see what dead key this is giving us. In between 5 and 0 is 25. Okay, looks like we've got about maybe 10, 15 watt dead key, real low. Alright. Now I'm going to key up down here and turn my dead key up to 1 watt. Alright, it's about 1 watt. Let's see what that increases to. Now keep in mind, we're swinging about 100 bird with this particular radio, okay? The main thing we do not want to do is swing backwards, okay? We're not looking at the peak kit. When you do this, you need to be looking at an average or RMS reading watt meter, not a PEP. You could be sitting there swinging back 100 watts or 10,000 watts, and the PEP meter is still going to show you swinging forward. I don't even know if I've ever seen a peak reading watt meter swing backwards. Okay? It's better to not be swinging at all on an RMS reading watt meter than to be swinging backwards. Always remember that. And let's see what we get now with a 1 watt dead key. Now we've increased to about 25, 30 watts. Go there. Go there. Now that right there, for what I'm doing, you know, of course, I'm not driving this amp hard at all. that's good. I personally would leave it right there if it was my amp. We're dead keying about 30 watts, swinging close to 100. I would leave it right there. You could go a little higher if you wanted to, but that's 1 watt, okay? That's 1 watt. I don't know if your radio goes down to 1 watt. Let's go down here and turn the dead key up to 2 watts. Oh, that's probably going to be my max. I'm not going to need, if I go any higher than this, the amp's probably going to be swinging back. Let's see what this gives us. And how do I know that? Because my max swing is only 4 watts RMS on my radio, okay? If I turn my dead key up to where I have hardly no swing on my radio, there's a good chance I'm going to be swinging backwards. We can get into scientific reasons for that, but it's all mathematics. You need to have a decent amount of headroom of forward swing, RMS, so you won't be over modulating, if you can look at it that way, your amplifier. Now let's see what 2 watts gives us. So we're dead keying now about 70 watts. It's a bit high. Oh, see how I'm swinging just a little bit forward now? Oh, see, I don't have a whole lot of swing, but I'm still swinging forward. So technically, you're still good there. You're still good there technically, but that is a little high. You want to have a little bit more swing in that if you can help it. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you, as it sits right now, 2 watts is your max dead key. Now, if I was running a stronger radio, like the Stickman Cobra 29, now I have more headroom in my swing, okay? I'm not swinging 4 watts RMS anymore. Now I'm swinging 8 watts. So the 2 watt dead key now is not too high. See, remember, I think I was swinging like 150, 160 or something with that radio. Okay? So I'd be dead keying 70 and swinging 160. That'd be fine. All day long. But it's all about the radio that you're running. But you do want that dead key as low as you can get it while still sounding good to the other person on the other end. The lower your dead key is, the less this amplifier is going to produce heat. The higher your dead key is, the more heat will be produced. Why? If I'm dead keying 70 watts, that means the whole time that I'm talking, that 70 watt carrier is there. It does not go any lower than 70 watts. Okay? It doesn't go any lower. So that 70 watt carrier is always there. So it's always going to be producing that 70 watt heat bare minimum. But of course you're talking on top of that. So that's just a little demonstration. Let me go ahead and turn my dead key down. While I'm on the bench testing stuff, I like to leave it about a 1 watt. See, this dead key on this radio, see how high it'll go. 3 watts. Now if I put 3 watts in this amplifier, it's a good chance I'm going to be swinging backwards. Let's just see. What does 3 watts give us? See? I'm now putting out more than what my swing was. So now I'm going to be swinging backwards. I guarantee you. Let's see. See how I'm swinging backwards? Now I am over modulating the amplifier. This is going to produce a lot of heat. My signal is not going to sound as good as it can sound, and the transistors are being saturated. That is not what you want. But if you don't have a watt reading watt meter, an average, or hold on a second here. If you don't have a average reading watt meter, or RMS reading watt meter, you won't be able to see that. Just the back of it. Just want to let you see. Ooh, that's the bottom of it. Got your 4 good feet on there. You definitely need it on these bass amps because you got screws holding stuff in. Tell you what, man, this case is heavy duty. It's heavy too. Alright, man, thanks for hanging in there with me. Just wanted to go over that with you since this is your first amplifier. Brother, I hope you work the world with this thing, man. If the conditions are good out there, take this thing out there on sideband, channel 38, lower sideband. If you got a radio to go up above channel 40, switch up to upper sideband at that point. Check out 27.555 triple nickel. That's where the rare DX comes in. Upper sideband though, once you go up above channel 40. But if you're on channel 38 or 39 or 40, lower sideband. Okay, get out there and shoot some sideband with it, brother. When you're talking sideband, you don't have to worry about all that old dead key stuff. It's a total different mode at that point. Okay, when you're talking sideband with it, just keep it around 300-400 watt swing. This thing will last you forever, man. Alright, buddy, enjoy. OGK, Gatekeeper. Hey, I'm still doing my thing, y'all. You don't see no videos, but hey, I'm still working the fields out here, planting my seeds, waiting for them to sprout. I'm gone, no doubt. Bye-bye.